and Charles Davis.
Spectators, and they've come out in flips. The scene a few moments ago. Here it is. Way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along. They come into this one fresh off a victory that finally snapped a 6-game losing streak.
And there's nothing like that this field, and they usually play a whole lot better that next game out as well.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes.
This is going to wind up incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Here's Rodgers to the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Aaron Jones, that time. But it's going to be 2nd down.
I think we'll see more than trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
They'll run it with Jones. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. First down. Here's Cousins. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Throwing, Cousins. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Looking deep for Adams. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Packers are able.
Just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
That's how we do, D.
Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. Cousins now from the 50. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 2nd quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. 3rd and long for Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Marching back onto the field now, Davante Adams and company getting set to go. Where he stands right now, as you see, already over 1,000. You have to think 2,000 is a real possibility. Long way to go in the season, but what he's done so far, spectacular.
It is, and you know what he's also hoping for? He's going to play a lot of man coverage from here on out because one of the best ways to slow down production is to go to zone and double, triple team, put a number of people in the area that you expect him to run into. But man-to-man, every receiver believes
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, this is Madison. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Cousins from the gun on third. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down. Cousins now to throw on first down. It's complete to Diggs. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Cousins. And just as you called it after the earlier sack, they set up the screen. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. They took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or two away from making it work. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Back near the goal line. Here's Rodgers. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, a conservative, easy call. Run the football, take care of it, create some space, punt the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back. And sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. The kickoff team on the field. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough.
That's caught at the 25. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Looking in zone for Jones. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Aaron Rodgers on fire, his 5th touchdown pass of the ball game as his guys continue to pour it on. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered. Defensively, a disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, and maybe we shouldn't be, because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be 1st and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial. We'll start at New Era Field. Buffalo playing host to Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Andy Dalton, 4 touchdown passes. From there, we stay in the AFC East and skip over to Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And at the half, they trail the visiting Jets in that ball game. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. A touchdown run for James Conner. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field, and he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they're doing something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video on those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. The throw over the middle, taken in. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Cousins now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to find Chad Beebe that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Cousins again. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Again, it's Jones.
Fucking bullshit.
That's a
bitch,
big
nigga.
loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and that'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cousins again, and his throw is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but now it'll be 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Cousins finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the 1st. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. So here are the Packers now to take over. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll go again to Jones. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Jones. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins. He'll find his receiver. That's Chad Beebe. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Vikings on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Cousins to throw it. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him. Yeah,
it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Now Cousins. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Kenny Clark make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on first down, Cousins, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be third and a mile. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Well, he is not going to get the first down as they'll spot this at about the 28. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They have more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Now a man open down the middle of the field. That catch good for 5. It's third down. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. To throw, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montravius Adams in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit.
That right now That's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Packers, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit